Devotion to Saint Joseph is widespread throughout the Church. Although little is said about him in the Bible, we know that his life was wholly dedicated to protecting and providing for his family.
San Giuseppe è il santo per eccellenza perché
Saint Joseph is the saint par excellence, because he is a saint who above all gives us the idea of someone who watches over us, who protects us, someone who is close to us, someone who above all has experienced the trials and hardships that we also live.
che viviamo un po' noi, no?
In the Divine Praises, Saint Joseph is called Mary's most chaste spouse. With just 3 words, the line reveals the true source of Saint Joseph's greatness and glory, his chastity and his relationship to Mary. It is therefore no accident that many statues and works of art depict Saint Joseph holding white blossoming lilies, a flower that has long been a symbol of purity.
Il giglio bianco rappresenta la virtù della purezza, della castità.
The white lily represents the virtue of purity and chastity, but a chastity that is not only in reference to the body, but a chastity that also concerns our feelings, the heart, and our affections. When we have feelings of possession or exploitation toward the person we love, we are not pure, we are not chaste. In this way, I think that the chastity of Saint Joseph, beyond that of the body, is also a chastity that concerns the mind and our thoughts.
I nostri pensieri.
For many people today, chastity is a real struggle, and one that takes many forms. From online temptations like pornography to sexual sins, growing in purity and forming chaste habits can be challenging in a society that often misunderstands chastity and sees it as countercultural. In the midst of it all, St. Joseph offers a radically different model.
He is patient and meek and humble, and he just has a lot of interior strength within him, and I would say that he just embodies true masculinity. So when I started looking of what kind of virtues I want in a future spouse, I looked to the virtues of St. Joseph.
Caroline Guiney is one of many with a deep love for St. Joseph. Her devotion began when she was a student at Thomas Aquinas College in the U.S., where she often did what many other students would do after Mass, stop to pray before his statue.
Every day I'd go and kneel in front of the statue after Mass, and I would ask St. Joseph for the courage to enter the religious life if that's what God wanted for me, and if not, that he would guide me to a man that had his virtues and help me grow in the virtues of his wife, so a man with his virtues would be attracted to me as well.
Many people turn to St. Joseph with those same intentions, praying novenas to find a good spouse, asking for the purity of their future husband or wife, and entrusting their hopes for a holy family to his fatherly intercession.
He practiced chastity, which is, having control over your sexual passions. And when you have that in order, it really allows you to love someone for their heart and soul instead of their exterior beauty, which is still a good thing, but it really focuses on the dignity of the person and loving them for their heart and soul. And I think that's what St. Joseph did for Mary. He loved her very purely, and he did it totally sacrificially, all for her, without expecting anything in return in that regard.
In the footsteps of the Holy Family, the Church venerates many other saints who embraced the virtue of chastity for the sake of the kingdom of heaven. Among them are the early Christian virgin martyrs like St. Agnes, St. Agatha, and St. Cecilia. Unlike other virgin martyrs who refused to marry their pagan suitors, St. Cecilia married and successfully convinced her husband to respect her vow and convert to Christianity, leading to a chaste, shared life of faith before both were martyred.
During the ceremony, with all the musicians playing beautifully and all the singers singing, she sang in her heart. She treated it as her own marriage to Christ, her wedding to Christ. She explained that she was already given in heart, mind and soul. It's like chastity, and Valerian accepted that.
Sister Margaret explains that everyone is called to live chastity according to their state in life, exercising temperance and self-mastery over their sexuality, in harmony with God's plan. Chastity is not about denying love. It's about loving more profoundly.
Chastity is not just a case of not being married, it's much more than that. Whatever you do, you can, if you're married, it's the same thing. You exercise chastity in the marriage. You're giving yourself, and that's what she did.
Today, more than ever, strong examples of purity are needed for the faithful to imitate. As a teacher and doctor of the Church, St. Thomas Aquinas might not be the first figure that comes to mind as a model of the virtue of chastity. But as a young man, when his family tried to stop him from joining the Dominicans and locked him in a tower, they went so far as to send a woman to tempt him, hoping he would abandon his religious vows.
As the story of his life goes, he was gifted with a vision of two angels who wrapped a cord around his waist, and from that moment forward, he never struggled with temptations against chastity. And I think that's a really remarkable aspect of the virtue and the character and the life of someone who ordinarily we think of as one of the greatest teachers that the Church has ever known, right? For St. Thomas, clarity of mind and purity of heart, purity of body, come together.
Through St. Joseph and the witness of the saints, the Church continues to remind us of the importance, beauty, and glory of the virtue of chastity, the virtue that safeguards love and life in the way God intended them.